2x2 formation. Road change, now we go racing for the first time this season. 3 hours of GT action, it's go.
It's very tight as they come down. Group of cars coming in. This has all got trouble written all over it. This is G3 cars.
Drop downhill, then head towards the Aqua Minerale. Imola, of course. There's another one off through the gravel. As wide as possible as they drop downhill, putting that truck inside line. Yes,
Oh, he did.
through he goes.
Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening everyone, and welcome to Race 6, Season 9 of AOR's GT3. This is the Tier 1, the Fast Boys. We're around Spa. It looks quite wet. I'm Rage F1, as always, and I'm joined by Saffzo. How are you doing this evening, buddy?
Little right, how are you?
Oh, Jesus. James L. Jones is back with a vengeance, it seems.
It's called a continuity.
Yes, definitely. That continuity thick, bruh. Right, here we go. Let's get everything ready for a few rounds of a rainy day in Spa. Get rid of that background boy so we can see what's going on. We are in qualifying already. I know we've got low numbers today. I've been told might not have the full amount of lads taking part, but it's all good. All fine. You're here, Saf. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. Oh, we had the glitch. We haven't had that glitch for a while. It didn't scare me, though, this time. We had the gunshot.
Oh god, I have that. Oh no.
I know, right? It just happened, but it didn't scare me. We're all good. BS Competitions in the chat, shouting away with his zebra style, giving us the zebra news that we need and love. UKG Monkey, or George Boothby, currently leading the championship with 350 points. We've got BMW Niels. They're not joint. They're not joint first. He's in second place with 343. However, Jardier is joint second place with 343 points. So technically at the moment we've got a three-way race for the championship. Dara McCormack is fighting his way back after that disconnect in Donington. He's got 312 points, and Mir Hassini's just clinging on with 300 points. Falling back as your man that you're watching right now is Malinowski with 286 points, and then Gregor Schill hasn't been able to keep up with the pace he had at the beginning of the season. He has got 256 points. Arthur Camara with 237. Then we've got Jan-Mal Dietrich doing very good, actually. Jan Marcel, sorry, with 199 points. Good to see him right up there. And then Angus Fender doing incredibly well last week out. He's in 10th place now, moved up 4 places last time, as did Arthur Camara. Yeah, some real improvements there. Darren King down 4 places. Redouin Massoud down 4 places from last week. So some real changes, Saf, as we've only got this and 2 others before the end of the season. So we're getting to the pointy end, which is good to see.
Yes.
Definitely. We are at the moment currently watching Malinowski. He's going through, I think, no name-ish area.
Now we're going through no name.
Gotcha. It's a tough old track, this. Down towards Pouron, and the rain as well, right? A lot of these boys, I'm pretty sure that AOR, let's just say AOR, tell them about conditions before, so they know they need to practice wet conditions. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes down.
Interesting.
They can tailor their whole setup for the wet condition, know what's going on. Well, they know it's mixed, right? They're not going to tell them. I don't think they tell them everything, like temperature. They might do. I can't remember. Maybe we can get some BS competition. Maybe get some information. Do your teams get told in advance about the weather condition, temperature, and stuff like that, so they can really prepare? I would have thought that they do, and I'm pretty sure I heard that on the grapevine. Also news, I saw that Jardier put in the chat that he's got about 100 or so, 108 litres worth of petrol he can fit in his tank, but the whole race requires about 116 or so, roughly, or something along those lines. So some of these guys are going to be really pushing it to get to the end on a standard tank, or at least in the standard engine mode. So we might see some real fuel saving throughout the session. Malinowski, first man across the line today. He does a 2:29.805. I've got no idea on the pace of that because it's so wet. Samir Foch comes across the line 0.3 slower. And here we go, we've got some of the other boys coming across the line. Darren McCormack comes across the line, and he's nearly 0.4 slower. George Boothby just about to come across the line too. He goes second place with a 2:29.895, just 9 hundredths off. Malinowski then setting the pace here this afternoon. We've got BMW Neil's just nipped in third place with a 1:29.9. These guys will be able to keep on going.
Jardier's gone pole.
Oh, he has! Jesus Christ, what an absolutely brilliant time. A 2:29.4. That's 0.3, nearly 0.4 quicker than Malinowski. What a time! We're going to have a hard time telling these boys apart today. They're both running Ukrainian colours. Ah, thank you, Adam. I knew there was an insight. So, AOR provide the practice server, which has the same conditions as the race when it goes live. So, it gives the weather temperature, condition, the temperature, pretty much the whole track temperature and track condition. So they can then tailor their practice and their setups around what they have on track at the time. What a start then. I'm seeing some more boys come through, missing some of these. Gregor Schill in 19th place, hasn't put the time in just yet. Whereabouts is he? Let's see if we can go on board. Let's go down the kennel. Maybe we should stay with Gregor. He's 8th place in the championship, falling back slightly after what was a good start to the season, but hasn't been able to hold on to the pace, I don't think. But had a very good race last time out. Gregor comes at 5th place at the end of it, I think it was, roughly around there.
Yes, 5th last race.
Yeah, he did the very early pit, and then he was holding up everyone else. Caused nightmares for Amir Hassini.
Also, Jardier currently in provisional pole. He's about a second up on his time at the moment, on his current lap.
Huge improvements all across the grid then, it seems. Yeah, Malinowski also up even more. He's up 1.6. So very interesting what Mr. Tortellini can do. We will probably see that flip round in a minute where Malinowski would just place. There you go, and he just does that exactly with a 1:28.2. It's a second off Jardier's time. That's going to be one hell of a gap that he's going to have to make up. 9/10 is what Jardier's got in hand at the moment. A little bit of work to do then for these guys. We're on board with Gregor Schill. Part of the BS competition crew that did so well last week at the Hungaroring. We did the endurance race. It was an hour and a half. This is obviously only 1 hour on track today. Jardier is looking like he's on track to beat Malinowski's time here.
No.
He didn't.
He lost a bit on the X of bus stop. During the bus stop, it looked like,
Got
about
very
1.1
close,
seconds, and he lost a bit. Yep, certainly he's still 9/10 in front of BMW Niels.
Yeah. Such as the track evolution, I think everyone will be improving almost every second. You need to get lots of track time here. Gregor then comes across the line 3rd place. Look at that. Still a second off the pace, but still the fastest of the guys who have already done one session, or one lap, sorry. So Gregor needs to really get out there and get a few more under his belt. If I was these guys at the moment, I would just keep lapping. You know, fill the car, maximum amount, and just get that, pace under your belt. Doesn't have to worry about tyres. Maybe just do 2 instances, come in once, and really just keep the track time out there. Like Malinowski's doing exactly that at the moment, just lapping. He's not coming in. And I think that is the way to get yourself on the top spot this afternoon. Definitely in wet conditions. Right, BMW Niels currently coming through No Name. 6 minutes to go. Watch him take the third sector here around Spa. It's a long old lap, especially in the rain. 2:28. Yeah, they're going so much slower. I think the fuel is definitely going to come into play this afternoon. We might have some cars going very slowly at the end of the race, just to kind of cope with the fuel load that's going on, or sacrifice that pace at the beginning. Whilst you're kind of getting used to the conditions, put your car in a lesser engine mode and just save some of that fuel. And when you've got some fresh rubber underneath you, once you've come in for tyres, which I'm sure they have to do even though the wet conditions are here, then you can turn the car up and really go for it. When you're comfortable,
Yeah. Malinowski would have done a 2:27.6 just then if he had not invalidated, so that would have been a big improvement. Jardier is already back onto the track. I think Malinowski is now one of, if not the only person on track. I think Mateus is also in there with him, but Malinowski already started to head out.
You're going to get that track time today. You can't sit and wait in that paddock at all. You really have to get out there because it's such a long lap to get round. It's 2.5 minutes just to start your lap. So yeah, definitely needs to get out right now. Otherwise, he's going to suffer. Only going to be able to get one lap in unless he does some real cheatsy doodles. The pit obviously is massively long round here. I think Malinowski's only going to have one lap left in him. Bad time to pit that. Never mind. BMW Niels comes across the line. I don't think it was much of an improvement. A couple of tenths there. Still 5 tenths off. Look at the pace though between the two top boys, just running away. 4 tenths in it between second and third. There's a real gap there for people to fall into. So would definitely be looking for people to jump in that third place kind of spot, because it's wide open right now. To be fair, as is fourth. Third and fourth. Oh, there we go. And it's just happened.
Ooh.
Hugo Merlers out of nowhere in a Ferrari. Well, there you go. 2:28 point dead almost, and a few bits of change there. Excellent lap. Great stuff. We'd be very impressed with that, I think. One of your favourite tracks, Saf? Do you enjoy this one?
I haven't actually driven it much on this track, to be fair, but on a general sense, yeah, it's definitely up there. On the current F1 game, no, absolutely despise it, but most of the time, yeah, it's a pretty enjoyable circuit because it's also with the setup you need to blend, the straight line speed on the very long Kemmel Straight with obviously the high amount of downforce you need in the middle sector, so it's a challenge in that respect.
It is. It's a real juggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks that really's got everything, especially in wet conditions now. It's a real test for these guys. To convert that pace, it really does separate, the men from the boys. As you say, Hugo Merlers, really impressive lap that. Mighty lap, 2:28 dead. He's going to be very impressed with that. But yeah, like you say, Tortellini did a huge lap last time out, but never got it down. So never mind. He was in the 27s, I think.
Yeah. Jardier is currently nearly half a second up.
He is, yeah. He's kind of jumping around half a second or so. Be very pleased with this because he's onto somewhat the easier part of the track. Just got to nail that final hairpin, and he has actually let a little bit of time slip in that final hairpin, so he might even find a little bit more pace towards the end of this lap. Just got to get it right. There's a bit of traffic ahead, but well offline. He should be okay. He's only got 3 tenths to make up to get the position he needs. He'll get another run on it, but only one more. Boothby comes across the line, taking second place, pushing Malinowski down. Jardier coming through the final sector, final hairpin and chicane section, gets it good. Doesn't drop any time, actually gains a tenth, across the line, takes it nice and securely. 2 tenths then back to second place, and that gap opening up between, I think it was BMW Niels. I told you it was wide open, and that just shows you he was third place only a few seconds ago. Now he's down to 7th as these guys start to open up their laps towards the end. BMW Niels pushed all the way down, and I think he will come back, but might be a little bit too late. Malinowski, 6 tenths up here, Saf, coming through Pullon.
Scumball with him then. So Remy Papin is just settling his time. Yeah, it's now gone up to nearly 9 tenths. So if we can keep this going, that's going to be pole position by a good half a second or so. He's gained even more.
Oh, he's lost a whole chunk there.
Yeah, that's going through campus. Unfortunately, yeah, it's about 2 tenths loss there. But the impressive part about this first couple sectors, even while making a mistake, he's still going to get pole by a decent margin. And he's already gained a bit again through Paul Frere. He's about to come through Blanchimont. And again, yeah, he's back up to nearly a second up now. So, keeps this going, doesn't make another mistake. It's going to be hard for Jardier to beat that time.
He's going to get another roll of the dice as well, I think, Malinowski. I said he didn't time his pit right, but it looks like he has actually timed it just spot on. He'll come across the line, and he'll have another go, which is good to see. So it's not do or die, and we can, as we've seen from the lap, there's definitely more time to be had. At least 2 or 3 tenths in that middle sector between 13 and 14, where he just lost the rear end. Across the line then, Malinowski takes a provisional pole by half a second. Jardier pushed back, but he is also up by half a second.
Up to second.
Look at that, yep. Good lap there.
George Boothby currently only 2 tenths up, and that's the end of qualifying. This is his final run.
We've got a good couple of guys here on final runs at the moment. Hugo Merles, he's currently on the final lap, I think. Whereabouts is he? He's just coming through 13, 14. He's going to be one of the first of these top boys to come across the line. George Boothby has finished. He didn't get the very good luck on the timing screen. He won't be going any further up. Current champions leader. He's in 6th place at the end of this. BMW Niels crosses the line. He only managed 4th. Didn't get a very good qualifying session in today, but he's the highest BMW, so you can't take that away from him. Right, so Hugo Merles 8 tenths up at the moment. Jardier is 7 tenths up from where he is, but he's got a 10th in hand over the time, if not more. We'll see what happens as we come to the end of the session. Zaf, don't think Jardier has gone. He has gone pole. He's taken the pole by 110.
But as we saw, Malinowski will be the penultimate person to set a lap time here. Hugo Merles across the line. He could actually already displace Jardier. It's going to be close.
Oh.
And he's just off 700ths.
Lost it on the final corner there. You can see Max also slightly further back. He's got 3 tenths in his pocket at the moment, just dropped down to 2. Might see him improve. But this is where I think the improvement's going to come from, and he's going to get it in this section. We're just about to see it. Keep the car nice and straight, Mr. Tortellini, and he'll be able to mop up a good 2 tenths without even doing anything. There you go, jumps 4 tenths just in that one little section of corners. He's on for the pole position here, just got to keep it nice and easy.
Yeah, Trevor Wenham across the line has also got a good time. That puts him into provisional 4th. Bosch across the line 7th.
Where's Dara McCormack? He's in the pit, only 11th at the moment.
Yeah, so I think Malinowski will be the last competitive driver to set a time. No, actually Mateus behind him also on the time, but only about a 10th up. So Malinowski, the prime driver to take pole position here. Through the bus stop. Does he lose time, gain time? What's going to happen? Actually gains a whopping amount of time. He gained, what, nearly half a second there. So that is going to be a very clear pole position. Malinowski by nearly half a second.
Lovely stuff there from Malinowski. I think Max improved there a little bit, but didn't change position. He's starting in 5th place. So front row, Malinowski and Jardier, they were chopping times left, right, and centre. Hugo Merles, which is the highest we've seen him up all season. He's start in the 2nd row of the grid with Trevor Wenham. We've seen him high quite a lot actually this season. So yeah, another good return to form. Max, I'm not going to say his surname, don't want to insult him, but that's as far up as we've seen him this season, and he's joined by Valentin Barrier, also again as far up as we've seen him all season. Great job from him. Samir Foch and Jean-Marcel Dietrich also doing the business today. Samir, again, the furthest we've seen him up all season, yeah, a just good run of form from Dietrich, and he'll be on the 4th row. Arthur Camara, Gregor Schill, they will be on the 5th row, 9th and 10th. Then we've got 11th and 12th is BMW Niels and George Boothby, the current championship contenders here. They're in 11th and 12th. Dara McCormack in 13th. We have to keep an eye on what happens outside that top 10 because it's going to be really spicy. Dara will be joined on the 7th row by Robin Schaefer. Then we've got the 8th row, Kieran Prendergast. Again, probably quite high up. We've seen him all season. Jura Petrochenko, good to see him back up there. He's joining, like I say, Kieran on the 8th row. Dominic Goltz and Vanko Dimitrov will be on the 9th row. Remy Papin and I think that's Briattle, oh, we always pronounce that wrong, don't we, Saf? They're on the 10th row. And then Matthias is plumb last, unfortunately, today. Didn't see much of him in that AMG. The AMG Mercedes, didn't see anything of him at all. Sorry, just catching up with chat. Sully saying, why no Audi in this league? Well, they get to choose. They get to choose whatever they want, and no one's chosen the Audi. It's just not on form, I don't think. These guys deciding not to go with it. So there you go. That's why they haven't got the Audi. Is there a 4K HD version of the stream? No, unfortunately not. This is the best that we can do, boys. Unfortunately, it's 720 all the way. I'm very sorry. Just don't have the internet to provide 4K. There we go. BMW just got slapped. Really? Well, did the BMW get nerfed? I've not heard of any changes. And the Audi was bad.
No idea.
No, I don't think we've had any changes, as far as I'm aware. I didn't do any updates, or at least in the past week. So the Audis, the BMWs did get beaten today. Really, really much so. Where is? Yeah, no, he is actually. Camera Schill and BMW Niels, so 9th, 10th, 11th. BMW Niels, not the fastest BMW. I did say it earlier, but he's definitely not today. It's been beaten well and truly, so he's going to be doing a lot of catching up. But that 11th, 12th and 13th is going to be a really good race. We'll see what happens there. But there we go. Right, well, just before we get into it, we might as well go through some of the standings. I know we said it at the beginning. George Booth will be currently leading. He'll be starting down there in 12th place. This is why I said I'm so excited to see what's happening in 11th, 12th and 13th. BMW Niels will be joining him, look, down there in 11th place in that number 1 BMW. So they're first and second in the championship. And Jardy has got a free pass to really get some points today, starting second place, front row of the grid. Both those Ukrainian-coloured Porsches doing very well this afternoon. Dara McCormack all the way back there in 13th.
Oh. So Jardier is under attack from Hugo Mels at the moment for second place. Interestingly, the track condition at the moment is damp, and it's not raining at the moment, but it will go to rain within the next 15 minutes, or in 15 minutes even. Here we go, this might be the Ferrari's time to pounce. He's got the slipstream, he's right behind the Porsche of Jardier. Going through Blanchimont, tries the inside line. Doesn't quite work. Looks like maybe the Porsche is built for more top speed. We'll see going into the bus stop. Will there be a last-minute dive? Down the inside, maybe. He has broken a tiny bit later, bringing more momentum, and he wants to go for it. Can't quite get it done. As Trevor Wenham has been passed by Darren McCormack behind. So that's the McLaren now down to 5th after they were 3rd after the first corner. It's not the best start for them. No worries. Yeah. Hugo Mels going down the inside, totally cut you off, going down the inside on the Kennel Straight. They head down into Le Combs. Looks like, yeah, he's going to keep the position. Jardier letting him through. So Cecil's now down to 3rd position and have to worry about McCormack behind now. Yeah. Yeah. Well, whatever the case, it looks like Jardier is writing on his tyres, which might explain why he's struggling at the moment. How dare you?
Ah, it was me. It was me all along. Well, there we go. We are back now, guys. I'm terribly sorry if you missed out on any of that kind of stuff. But Saffzo is with us. I was just saying I had a power cut, so that's why we dropped just before the beginning. But you missed nothing.
Oh! There's nearly going to be a 3-wide moment at bus stop. As Trevor Wenham has gone back past McCormack and is now trying to go past Jardier at the chicane. Jardier just fends off the 2 McLarens. McCormack's gone for a better exit, though. And this is actually now going to be 3-wide going down to turn 1. Please keep it clean, boys. We don't want any more crashes in this. Going down to turn 1. He's going to have the better braking. Jardier on the inside, but it looks like that's Trevor Wenham who's done the latest braking off the 3. Jardier with a potentially better exit. McCormack's on the back of both of them. He's looking for any gap. So it looks like Wenham has the position for now. McCormack trying to get past the Porsche. And looks like Jardier maybe lifted off to let him through. So, yeah, don't know if maybe Jardier is on the wet tyres, others are on the dry.
Not sure. Not sure.
Because he's definitely struggling a lot more than he was in qualifying.
Okay, alright. Thanks for letting us know, chat. I'll put up the volume so we're both equal. Apparently I was really quiet. It's really random that it would drop like that and then change all the settings. Not really too sure what's going on. Thank you for everyone for letting us know and helping us out during our time of need. We are back now and underway. And the main thing is you didn't miss a whole second of that, really. All you missed was the outlap, and no one wants to see that anyway. You got us going across the line. If only you could hear Saf, or literally part of us, we made sure you didn't miss out on the action. I'm noticing, though, I think that actually might just be a game thing. Is there a dry line forming? Not too sure. I think it's
It looks like there is, it appears to be patches of dry line.
I think that might be just track texture, you know.
Hang on.
Yes.
That 15-minute marker, that said rain before, that's changed.
It has,
It now says it's going to be sunny.
It has completely changeable conditions. So there you go. It's greasy out there now, guys. And I think that actually might be a bit of a dry patch forming. Strange things are happening here at Spa.
There's definitely a dry line at some parts of the track. So I wonder if that's changed for the drivers as well, or whether they knew it was going to be dry. But
I don't know. It seems very odd for it to change like that. I've never seen it go up.
I've never seen it either,
like that on the board and then change very soon afterwards. I was quite surprised to see that it was rainy, considering the sky. Look, it's completely blue out there. Well, we might have some very, very quick pits coming up, which we'll keep an eye on. So okay, let's go through the lads. We've got Malinowski currently in the lead, but being hustled quite quickly by Hulo Merles, who looks like he's got he's doing very well actually. We'll double check his tyre selection actually, because that could be slightly different. What's Malinowski got on his car? Let's have a look as he goes past. I'm not sure if he's got writing on there. Let's see. Let me get some confirmation in the chat about the writing status of the tyres. Yeah, definitely got yellow marking on the side of the tyre.
Hugo Mills doesn't. Well, he said doesn't look like it.
So yeah, some people coming in and saying Jardy's dropping down because of the wet tyres. Lots of these boys are on wet tyres, guys, you know. Jardy,
okay, so that would explain it.
Well, Jardy's definitely got wet tyres on as well. So, not really too sure what's happened there, because these guys have stuck on the wet tyre, and now it's coming back to bite them because there is no wet running. So, I don't think that was race control that's done that. That is literally the game has decided that we're not going to go racing here in wet conditions. Strange.
Also, you were talking about early pit stop. BMW Niels came in last lap. And some more people are in now. Pappen, Schill, or I think Pappen's been in there for a while now since the incident. But Schill, Goltz, and Mateus are also now at the pits.
Okay, so we're getting some confirmation here. So the white line, or the yellow line on the side of the tyre, it means it's the dry. Okay, so when it's an all-black tyre, it's wet. I just couldn't remember which way around it was. It's obviously very important. Chat's is correcting DP and us, because we were just agreeing with him, because we're not too sure what the tyre combination is. It's been a while since we've had the wet running, so I couldn't remember if it was either
So tyre writing means it's dry?
Yeah, so I think it's like a yellow Pirelli. It looks like a yellow line when it's going round. So yeah, yellow is dry. There we go. We've got confirmation of. So
Jardy going round the outside of McCormack. Sorry to interrupt you again.
We're watching it live. Don't you worry.
Going into campus, just completely swept round the outside. So someone's saying Jardy was on wet tyres. I'm not so sure now.
No.
Oh no! Look at that. No, it's saying in 5 minutes it's going to be wet.
Right. Okay.
What's going on?
Not too sure what's going on. We'll keep it how it is, though, and just agree with what's going on. I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest, because look at the sky. Unless it just suddenly turns into a grey mist, I've got no idea what's happening with that weather condition.
I know Spa can be changeable conditions, but this is a bit extreme.
It is slightly extreme. Since the track has dried out incredibly quickly, the gap between Merles and Malinowski is just absolutely open. Look at that, 2.6 seconds. And you've noticed, actually, Jardy's pace is just absolutely switched on. So, yeah, I think we're seeing some moves from these Porsches. Obviously, Jardy down 2 places from the start, but I think he's going to be coming back on those McLarens and Ferraris ahead.
Yeah, he's already gained, I think he gained nearly half a second on the two ahead of him in that middle since the middle sector. So I think the information about wet tyres, maybe I think he was on dries, and then while it was still a bit sort of damp and stuff, he was struggling. Now that it's dried up, those dry tyres are suddenly turning on. I don't think he's on the wets, especially as it looks at his tyre rating on that.
So apparently BMW Niels, he changed his tyre. He put the wrong tyre on, pretty much. So I think he's on wet tyres at the moment. So I think he's ripped his race. Whereabouts is he? He's 17th place. He pitted. Yeah. So those are the guys that got caught out, I think, that had to pit. Obviously, we did have some crashes at the very beginning that we just about saw. Remy Papin, I think Dominic Goltz was involved in that. So I'm not surprised that they have come in and pitted. Have we got any race control going on?
Nothing so far about penalties and such. In terms of the Jardier situation, he's already right on the back of Hugo Mills.
We thought that was going to happen. He's switched on since the track conditions changed. I know I was saying it was blue sky. It does look a bit grey now.
Yeah, and look, 5 minutes have now gone from a bit of rain to he's going to chalk it down.
He's going to absolutely tip it down. All right, well, I think there is sprinkles on the horizon, guys. We'll see what happens. I've got no idea what these guys are doing with fuel load. I know they said that it is a bit 50-50. Whether they've been saving, I'm not too sure. I think Jardy's probably put the pedal to the metal, let's say. 5 minutes time. We're going to be, by the time it has a real effect, we're going to be 45 minutes into this race. Not enough time to get a pit stop done, really.
It's definitely darkening the track. That's
it is. You're right. But it's going to come good again later. So what do? Do you just stay out? Sacrifice it?
I mean, do you? Because we saw how much Jardy was struggling at the start of the race, so I think it's a sort of you're damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, really, because if you're on the dries, you're going to suffer in the wet. If you're in the wet, you're going to suffer during the dry. And it's just going to keep switch swap between them.
Yeah, well, this little battle that I said we needed to keep a close eye on, unfortunately we kind of lost touch with at the very beginning of this, but it's still alive and kicking. Camera is... Hugo Merles comes in. I wonder what tyre he puts on. Camera has held on. He's just been promoted to 5th place. He's got Boothby behind. He's got Valentine Barrier also behind him. Obviously, Merles has just pitted. Dara McCormack getting left for dead almost. 10th place for him. You can see him in the back of the picture there, just coming through the first corner. Interesting, this race. Really, really interesting. A lot of people out of place and a little bit caught out by that start. As were we. As was the whole stream.
I'm still trying to understand what's actually going on.
No, I've got no clue. It's going to rain soon. That's all I can tell you, Saf. It's definitely going to rain. 100%. Right, what could George Boothby do? He's got a championship he's fighting for here. Got to make the moves quick. He does make it. After the Kemmel, there is a touch. Looks like Barrier wants a way through past Camera. He's going to get it done. Nicely done there. Lacombe taking prisoners by the looks of things. Camera losing 2 places. George Boothby on a charge. He needs to get it done now before these changeable conditions catch people out, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how people react to what the weather's going to be like. Do you put on wets and then go back to dries at some point, a mystical 2-stop? Do you go into whatever tire it's going to be in 30 minutes? It's a very tricky situation, because the thing is, really, you don't want to do 2 stops, considering how really, really long it takes to do a pit stop here. So
I was just trying to have a little sneaky peek on what was going on with Hugo Merles' tyres. I couldn't quite see what they are. Whether he's decided to come in for wets. Obviously, he was right up there when he pitted.
It's raining.
It is. Oh my God! It's properly just turned on. It's like a tap. Maybe Hugo Merles has pulled an absolute blinder. Let's go on board with him. What's he got on there? What boots has he got? He's on dries, Saf.
Yeah, but does Malinowski come in now that rain? No, Malinowski stays out. And there's a... What does it mean when there's a plus next to the weather symbol?
It means it's going to go proper. More rain. Plus means rain, but a little bit more than the one before.
Ah, okay, right. Yeah,
so the rain will slightly increase. But it's only for 5 minutes. So we've got 5 minutes of this condition, then it dries up again. Well, they've got to think for long term, 15 minutes, it's going to be dry again. And in 15 minutes' time, you're halfway through the race. And you've got another half an hour of dry running. So suck it up, boys. You're going to have to do the changeable conditions. Everyone's in the same boat here. No one switched on tyres. No one's doing anything different at this stage. Everyone is out.
It's gone from a plus to a minus. This weather is all over the place.
Not too sure what's going on. I think it might be slightly bugged, to be honest with you. Track has changed to greasy, I think, very recently. We might see a move here. Camera getting past Valentine Barriers up the inside. See if you can see him on board. Flash past the outside. Holds on to it. Was there contact there?
There was a little bit, yeah. Just trying to see their tyres. Looks like Barrier has wet tyres, Camera has dry tyres.
Does he actually? What a mad
It looks like Camera has dry tyres.
They're all on dries. Yeah, got the yellow symbol still. The yellow line. I don't think he's been in, has he? Yeah, no, he can't. They're definitely on the right tyre. Well, BMW Niels here is the one to look at. What's he doing? Has he come in? Wets. Has he come in for wets? Let's have a look. He's definitely on wets.
That was what he did when he came in very early in the race.
Yeah, he made a mistake.
So,
he'll be doing well now. It'll be slowly. The pace will be coming to him slightly.
I'm just interested when the likes of Malinowski are going to react to this, because Malinowski is on the dry, so...
I think they're just going to have to suck it up and keep going. 5 minutes, look, it's going to stop raining. So,
Yeah.
you know, they're in 10 minutes' time. So they might as well keep on going, put some more dryers on when it happens, and just hopefully they don't drop the car. That's all they can do. The battle right here is Camera versus Valentine Barrier. We'll go on board with Camera. Off the back, I think, of a 3rd place last time out. 2nd or 3rd place.
About 12th.
12th? Are you sure?
12th. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's BS competition.
That's what the standings say.
Okay, I trust you.
Yeah, is it a barrier you're asking about?
No, Camera.
Camera, right, yes, okay. Camera was 2nd last
2nd
time.
place, yeah, I thought he was up there, because Angus was with him, and then Gregor was down in 5th, because it was the 1, 2, 3 from the BS boys. Hence my concern. Where's the Ford GT? Still parked in the garage, mate. No one takes that car. Is it even in the game? I don't think it is. Can't get a Ford GT in ACC, unfortunately. I wish it was, but no can do, I'm afraid. Right.
Well, which model? 2005 or 2017?
I don't think that it's in at all, mate.
No, it's in which one would you want in the game?
Oh, the brand new one. Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think the Ford GT is even in this series of endurance racing. Oh, look, the weather conditions are taking prisoners. Barrier over
Barrier's
the...
had to go off the track.
He did, yeah. This is really treacherous for dry tyres. Really bad. We've got 5 more minutes of this as well, so they have to suck it up. We might have some big casualties going off in the top 10 here. What's Malinowski doing? Is he keeping it on straight and narrow? Looks like he's doing okay. Trevor Wenham also doing all right. Jardier behind. Looks like they're kind of struggling, but all kind of keeping the car on the track. Well, the race we want to see right here is this one. We've actually got a race on track, and in these conditions, it's pretty tough. Hello from Spain, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Right, so wet weather should be easing up. Oh my god, look how much they're understeering. As soon as they get offline, they just can't control these cars in these conditions. And well, this is where the likes of BMW Nils should be lapping it up and improving, hopefully making amends from that pit stop with those horrible tyres.
He's about 13 seconds off Mel's, so...
What kind of times is he doing?
That is a good question. Let's go up to him.
2:31.
Last lap 2:31, and Mel's did a 2:32.
He's definitely the
So
fastest
about...
in that kind of pocket, isn't he? Saying that, Jan-Marcel Dietrich's done a 1:30, Samir's done a 1:29. It's kind of bang on. I think we'll see those improvements coming in the next couple of laps, really, because these laps were on at the moment.
2:34.
Yeah, they're going to be slow. We're going to be 34s, 35s, and 36s, I think. What's Camera just done as he comes across the line? Let's see.
2:36.
36, yeah. So this is where BMW Nils can really switch it on. If he can keep in the 31s, that's a huge gain each lap. And it's going to be going on for another couple of laps yet. Right, the rain is definitely dying down.
Dietrich 2:33. Dimitrov 2:33. Mel's 2:32. Niels 2:31.
Where is
Looks
BMW
like Dominic.
Nils?
Looks like Dominic Goltz came in for the dryers.
Oof.
So he's going to be struggling at the moment, but when this rain eases up, he'll be able to make up some ground. Meanwhile, Jardy has actually been catching up to Trevor Wenham. He's only 1.7 off now. I'm pretty sure he was 2.5 to 3 seconds off a few laps ago.
He is, yeah. I mean, I'm very surprised that he's able to close up in these conditions. You kind of just hold station, don't you, really? Right, track is now damp, and we've got no rain, apparently. Nothing coming down, and it's all going to be burning off. And for the next 15 minutes, it's meant to be cloudy and as is.
So it might take a while for this to grip up again like it did at the start of the race.
Yeah, might take a little while, but we should get there. Yeah, Ghost, I'm sorry. Video quality of YouTube's so bad. I mean, it doesn't help that we can only stream it at 720. I think I'm 720 at 5,500 kilobytes at 60. It's the best I can do with my internet, unfortunately. So we are restricted a little bit, being out here in the sticks. Don't have that hyper-fast broadband as all the city boys do, right?
I wouldn't know, my internet's tragic.
Mine is pretty tragic too, to be fair. I think ours is roughly the same, to be honest. Just as tragic as each other. Sun's out, Slick Guys are winning so far. Yeah, well, here we go. The sun's out now. We should be going dancing. These boys have got to hold it on the straight and narrow. What's going on between the battle that we were watching earlier? Valentine Barrier, camera still very close. Right, so who's going to pull the trigger and come in and get some new tyres first? Do you reckon? I guess they just hold it out on these. Trash these tyres. And wait until it starts to dry out properly, then come in for your race tyre. Keep them in a good window. Because if you come in now, you're gonna turn them to absolute blocks of ice. So the likes of Hugo Merlers is going to be very tricky.
In terms of Jardier versus Trevor Wenham, Jardier was 8/10 quicker last lap. They come across the first sector time. Well, he's actually lost 2/10 in that sector, so not a great start to this lap, but still closer than he was a couple laps ago. Sun is definitely starting to come out now. Yeah, you can see at the top of the weather, it's gone from cloudy to sun.
I don't know how they can dry a track that quickly. Okay, well there you go. The track's almost dry now when it was just pouring literally 2 minutes ago. Not too sure what's happening with this weather setup today, but there you go. I think these guys will be just as confused when we talk to them after the race, because there's definitely a dry line already opening up. These guys are almost back to pace again. Right, so BMW Niels really needs to come in.
Yeah, now's the time, pretty much.
And I think all of these guys, they could probably come in for their first set, these top guys anyway, get a jump on, and I think this is where the gains could be made if you come in now. I think there still is a little bit of water in certain places. Let's have a look on the helicam, see if we can spot any wet patches. There you go. Couple there on the apex. But it's drying so quickly. How hot is it? 31 degrees. You're all-wing. What's going on?
Jardier's caught half a second on Wenham in that sector alone.
He's doing a business, isn't he?
If they don't come in like in the next lap or two, he might actually be able to go for a move on track. And I think at the moment, if Jardier was to take second in this race, and everyone else stayed with well, I'm pretty sure Jardier would take the lead of the championship.
I think you're right.
Because of
he's so close,
being down in 5th.
Yeah, I think you are right. Let's have a little look on the standings. At the moment, Jardier's 3rd place with 343. Where's Boothby at the moment then?
He's 5th at the moment.
He's 5th. Well, I don't know. I think he's got... Yeah, I think he will just
it's
about
only
do
a
it.
7-point difference between them, and there's I'm pretty sure there's more than 7 points between 2nd and 3rd now, minus 2nd and 5th.
There is. You need to really jump up to 4th and 3rd to get those big points. 66 points for 5th place. 2nd place is 90 points, so there's your gap.
Yeah. So what was it again? 66.
66 for 5th place, yes.
So that I'm pretty sure that means even if Jardier only stays 3rd, he'll still take it at that point.
So if it stays, yeah, he will. If it stays how it is at the moment, you would have George Boothby, 350 plus the old 66 on 416 points. Jardier's on 343 like the Halo plus what was it 60? How many points did I say?
For 3rd, I think it's 80.
81,
81, yeah.
Plus 81, and he would have beat him 124 points. So plus 9 would be 433 points if he can come 2nd. So yeah, he will. He will jump him and be leader of the championship with only 2 races to go.
I'm mighty happy with that.
Very, very happy with that.
Speaking of happy, the opposite of happy up, we finally have some news on penalties halfway through the race.
Fabulous.
We've got a 10-second time penalty for car 888. That's Samir Foch.
Okay.
And that's for causing a collision lap 1, turn 3. So I assume that's the carnage we saw already on.
It was, yeah.
And that's also a license point, unfortunately. And that's for a collision with 85, it said, so Dietrich was indeed involved in that.
Jean Marcel, okay.
Then a 15-second time penalty for car 19, which I don't think is in the session anymore.
That would be Gregor Schill, who has left, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have got a 15-second penalty for not holding the brakes, causing an additional collision. That's a license point as well.
No.
That was lap
one.
1, turn 6. 5-second time penalty for car 10. That's Kieran Prendergast. That's lap 5, turn 6. Dangerous driving, pushing another car off the track.
Okay. That's unlike Prendergast. Not seen dangerous driving. I've never seen him have a penalty, to be quite honest. Kieran's normally very, very, very clever behind the wheel.
And that's also that's no license points though, so good on that front. And that was for pushing car 4 off, so that was camera.
Yeah.
And then last one that it's noted at the moment, but as you said, there should be a big one coming up from there soon. 10-second time penalty for car 14, that's McCormack, for causing a collision with car 26, which is Petrochenko. That was lap 6, turn 1. So I actually want to have a look at that because I didn't think either of us caught that. That's also a license point.
Okay, well, yeah, do feedback. Yeah, we haven't seen the big penalty that's for BMW Nils come up just yet. I'm sure we'll get a word on what happened there, but that I think that must have been what happened at the beginning. I could only assume, but just like to touch on car number 14's penalty. That's Dara McCormack, championship contender. That, I think, might actually seal the nail in the coffin, to be honest. Where is he at the moment? He is in 4th place with 312 points. He's going to have a 10-second time penalty when he comes across the line. He's in 16th place at the moment. So even if he finishes where he is at the moment, he's only going to get, I think, 28 points. So he's going to get pushed right down to the very back. Even if he finishes last, to be fair, he's still going to get himself 20 points. But it's not good if you're chasing to get back into that that top spot and into the championship contention. But I think that might be the final nail for Dara McCormack, and that's a shame.
Just looking at the incident now, that they actually break, it looks like, more or less at the exact same time. But McCormack just brings in so much more momentum into the corner while being right behind Petrochenko, and just sends the Nissan round.
So there was a contact that involved a spin as well. That's why the penalty's been so heavy. Okay, well there you go. That's the penalties with those guys. Obviously, some of them being cleared now. Prendergast came in, cleared his penalty. Right, we haven't got any of the top guys coming in just yet. We have got some that just have. The likes of, I think Kieran obviously is coming. Dimitrov's in at the moment. Remy Papin also in at the moment, but no real yardstick apart from Merlers, who made that pit stop on the changeable condition, and now should be going fast, really. Here we go. Dara McCormack is obviously jumping up after those guys coming into the pit, but Hugo Merlers still 11th place and the first of the pitters. We'll see how well that fares for him towards the end. Did BMW Nils come in? I don't think he did, and with that penalty, I don't think he will.
No, there's Briat now into the pits. Samir Foch as well to serve that 10-second penalty. No one else in the top 8 have come in just yet. No. They'll surely have to do it soon, considering we're now pretty much exactly halfway through the race.
Well, I would have thought they've probably still got a bit of life in these tyres. Because of the wet condition, they just haven't worn through that compound as much as they would have done. Because they've been cold, right? So they haven't used a lot. And obviously, if it's you might have been able to extend them slightly. We'll see. We have to keep an eye. What we really need to keep an eye on, what we don't know, is how much fuel these guys have in reserve. How much they've been holding on. The likes of the car number 39 that we're watching at the moment that's chasing. Who knows? We might have to see them go on a lesser fuel load towards the end of this race. Or engine mode, sorry.
Speaking of Jardier, 2 tenths quicker than Trevor last lap, so he's still gaining. Not quite as much as he was before. And maybe just hitting the dirty of just being within a second of the car ahead. But it's going to be interesting to see if this is decided on who comes in first or whether it's on track. Track, meanwhile, has become fast from greasy.
Yeah.
So the dry tyre should really be turning on now. There isn't even cloud in the weather. Now it's just full sun. So it's going to be beaming down. So does Malinowski come in this lap? No. Malinowski stays out. What about Trevor Wenham? Stays out too. Chardier stays out as well. So they might be doing what you're saying and just extending that tyre.
If they've still got that depth in the compound, then they might as well. I think a lot of people have realised that they've got quite a lot of tyre left, so just keep on going, keep on tracking. Where's Hugo Merles? 9th place. He's still doing well, considering. How far back is he? We might be able to gauge.
Barry and Camera are fighting again.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, let's jump up and see what's going on. Yes, they are.
Camera went defensive into turn 1. That might give Barry the exit he needs down into Eau Rouge. Hustling the back of that BMW. Let's see who gets the better exit onto Radion. Lifts a bit, but through Eau Rouge, maybe to just carry more speed through here. Up through Radion. Will the slipstream be enough to go for an attack through Le Com's? He's gaining. But as soon as you pull that slipstream, all that gaining is just lost. So he needs to do it now or never. He's trying to do it now. He's putting the car up the inside. Now it's around the outside. So you go through 8, now into 9, we'll have the inside again. Camera trying to hang it around the outside, very nearly content to keep it clean. Coming down now into, I still don't know when it's going to bruise or something. All very slight contacts, nothing malicious though. And that is Barrier up into 6th place. See if Camera can put on a counter attack. But behind them, Petrochenko is starting to gain a little bit.
He is. That was,
he actually caught them by 1.6 seconds last lap.
Wow, okay. And that was without that fighting. He's probably even caught them even more now through that first sector. Really, really fair fighting there from Camera. Didn't want to make any sudden moves. Didn't want to be involved in any incidences, which is good to see him being very fair. Leaving a lot of space, which is good. And yeah, good fair racing all round, I think. Valentine Barrier then up into 6th place. Camera being dropped down. What's George Booth be doing? 5th place. He's got Max just up ahead. 2nd and a half in it. Who's going to be the first to pull the trigger here? This is what we need to know. What's going on with the guys ahead? No, they've gone for another one, Saf. No one's coming in yet.
Yeah. We'll see what Max and George do. Max stays out. George stays out.
Interesting.
What about the two fighting? Will one of them try and get an undercut on the other?
Yes.
Yes! Camera comes in, Barrier stays out, Petrochenko stays out, which means there are now 7 drivers who have not come into the pits.
Right, where's Hugo Merles? This is the interesting part. Whereabouts is he?
He's going to go through P1.
Okay, I think that might be a little bit too far back. I think he's going to stay where he is.
You say that it's a very, very long pit stop here.
It is, you're right.
How long you have to go before you actually come to your pit box. So, Camera hasn't even made it to the first corner yet, and Merles is already nearly about to enter the last sector.
Well, Hugo was well up there, wasn't he? He was with Trevor Wenham. He was splitting first, 2nd and 3rd. So, pitted from 3rd place, or roughly around there. Obviously, I think he didn't get the best deal with the weather condition, but hey, he's been able to keep on these tyres since then. I guess better thing is, didn't take a lot of life out of those tyres because they were so cold at the beginning of his stint, so maybe that early pit's been saved slightly. We'll see how much time it's made. Just about to come through the final complex. Is Camera still stationary?
He hasn't even been stationary yet. He's just pulling in now to his pit box, and Merles is already coming up to the start-finish line. So I think Merles is going to get this.
Yeah.
He's got fastest lap.
Do you think that Merles is going to have enough to get past Max, Boothby, maybe even Jardier?
Possibly Jardier, I'm not sure about further than that. We'll have to wait and see what the sort of delta is to Camera when he comes up. But Camera hasn't even been released yet, and Merles is already passing now.
Well,
and Camera hasn't even been released.
That's the benefit, I guess, of coming in.
Oh, and there we go, just now coming out.
He's going to be miles behind.
Still on the pit limiter, still on the pit limiter, still on the pit limiter. He's going to be behind McCormack. He's just been released from the pit speed limiter. It's actually going to be a little behind Robin Schaefer. So, yeah, considering Camera was, fighting for 6th place and Mills is that far up in front, I think he's actually going to be about where Boothby and Max are. I think it's going to be that area. I'm not sure he's quite going to be where Jardier is.
Well, we'll see.
Petchenko comes in.
So does Boothby as well. Boothby's decided to come in early, which is good. He's seen a couple of people around him. He might even actually be covering off the likes of Camera and stuff like that. They just need to come in, get it done. There's such a long pit here, like we were just explaining. Okay.
And again, Mel's going through Puon as Boothby is coming to the first corner, so it's pretty much identical to what was the case with Camera. So actually, yeah, this could be on for at least a top 4 for Mels.
Okay.
Although it does actually look like Boothby's going a fair bit quicker through the pit lane than Camera. Camera was going painfully slow. Boothby doesn't seem quite as slow. Like, obviously, still nowhere near as quick as he'd like to, but...
Can you imagine the carnage if they're allowed to just full speed it through the pit? Well, Malinowski's still out and absolutely smashing round. Whereabouts is he at the moment? Going through Puon.
Yeah, he's just coming up to lap traffic, I believe that's Samir Foch. Neither is in the Ferrari, also with the Ukraine livery.
I think he's got to come in now. I don't think he can hang it out. I'll be very surprised if Wenham and Jardier don't come in as well at the same time. Malinowski, he's got to. There's not much benefit going to be made here, and he does risk coming under threat from the likes of Merlers and stuff like that. So I think he's got to come in. They all have to. 20 minutes to go. Still on the original tyre.
Boothby hasn't been released yet, and Mills is about to pass now. There we go. Oh, there's something happened at the bus stop. Looks like Briat's maybe had an incident, fell from 12th to 15th.
Just trying to jump on board with them. Looks like Jean-Marcel Dietrich got through there without any incident. I'm not too sure what happened there with the number 8 car. We're all good though. Right, what's going on then? George Boothby is in 7th place.
Far behind Mills.
Where is Mills? Yeah, oh look. Good stuff, yeah. It's a big old gap.
There was pretty much nearly a full Kemmel straight between them, and McCormack isn't too far behind Boothby, but George didn't have to worry about him. He's got 10 seconds. Jardier and Trevor are in. Yep. Malinowski stays out.
He didn't. Well, that could be a very costly mistake.
Max in. Barry's in. All of the remaining drivers have come in except for Malinowski.
Well, okay. Well, he's brave, it seems. Well, this is it then. Where is Merlers at the moment?
Going through P1 again.
Oh, wow. I think he might actually take them all here. 2nd place for Hugo.
He was he still is very far in front of Boothby, and Boothby was, I think he was only, 5-6 seconds behind the likes of Jardier? He wasn't too far behind, was he? So,
if Malinowski doesn't come in this lap, I think he's going to actually be at risk to Merlers here. Hugo might have pulled an absolute masterclass. Let's see, we'll stay with him. Currently in 6th place, the number 13. This is the highest we've seen Hugo Merlers for a little while. Absolute cracking qualifying. Did something different, which is good. May have come in at we thought was a bad time, but when they're all struggling like that, you might as well come and put some tyres on, I guess.
Wenham has just come to a stop in the pit box.
Really?
Yeah.
Merlers is going through the final corner. He's going to have them all. I think Merlers might be on for a win here if he can keep it straight and narrow.
Too much too quickly. He's going to gain a lot, but remember there was a good 6-second gap between Malinowski and Wenham, so I think as long as Malinowski pits now, because there's not really any point in pitting any later now.
They've been released. They've been released.
Yeah, but where's Miles? Miles has passed them all.
Massive difference. So 1, 2. That's easily 5 seconds. So he's going to be right on the back of Malinowski if Malinowski doesn't come in. Where is Malinowski?
Let's see. He's just coming up to the bus stop now. Let's see if he comes in. Does he react?
He does.
Yes, he does. He comes in.
He had to. Absolutely had to. Right, well, considering where he is, I think it's going to be very, very tough for Hugo Merlers to do that. But let's see. Trevor Wenham.
He passed Wenham when Mills was going through P1 and Mills was just about to come to the first corner. So as Malinowski almost comes to the quote-unquote breaking point for turn 1, Mills is just before P1. So I think he's either going to be just in front or just behind Malinowski. He's just going through P1 now as Malinowski's going through the first corner. So this is definitely going to be the closest one so far. So it's just going to be a question of, as this race goes on, how much of those old tyres going to hurt Hugo?
Yeah.
If at all.
Yeah, one of the other early pitters, George Boothby, I think he's undercut a few drivers. He's up in 5th place now. Looks like he got past Max. I think Doctor's just saying that in the chat too. Boothby up a couple of places, so good drive from him. Looks like he's managed to do quite well out of these weather conditions. Right, okay, so we're coming down through Blanchimont now. This is going to be close.
Stopped yet.
Has he not?
He's just stopped now.
Okay, so we've got 30 seconds from now. I'm assuming his pit box is right at the...
He's right at the end.
Right at the end, right? Okay, well, it's going to be close. It's going to be incredibly close. We'll stay on board with Hugo Merlers then. Literally, we'll stay on board with him because I think this is going to be one of the closest we've seen so far. Has he done enough? Hugo's been putting in lap after lap and absolutely flying these past couple. He's done 2 minute 18. It's as fast as the best of them. Darren McCormack's been doing 2:18.7s. Hugo's done 2:18.8, so it's right on it. Is he being released yet, Sam?
Malinowski released. Malinowski's just been released now.
This is going to be close.
He's already been released from the pit lane. I think he actually has him. I think he has him covered off.
There's a left and a right. Hugo Merlers is going to be going quick. Here comes Hugo. This is going to be close,
this could get interesting.
This is going to be really close.
Momentum.
Yeah, he is. Hugo Merlers for the win here. What's Malinowski going to do?
Is he going to dive it?
He has to. Outside. Hugo Merlers, you master.
He's taken the lead.
He's got the lead. With 16 minutes to go, Hugo Merlers, what an absolute masterclass here from the Ferrari. Great stuff from Hugo. He's leading a Tier 1 race. Hugo Merlers, the first time, because of strategy, because of changeable conditions, Saf, he's in the top spot.
Yeah, but again, we do have to question how long are those tyres going to hold out, especially considering Malinowski is now on brand spanking new tyres.
As long as he can. He has to. He's got to hold. He's just got to hold, and hopefully Tortellini takes a while to warm up. I know he won't. Tortellini will be warm by the end of the lap. So he's got to make the most of this. He's got to go some.
Other thing to note now, the track has become cloudy. No whatsoever rain yet. But it has become cloudy, meaning it'll be just a teensy bit longer to warm up those tyres, because Mills will already be fully warmed up. He's been running in the sun, whereas Malinowski's got to warm up their tyres during the clouds.
Yeah, track temperature has actually come down a little bit. 29 degrees. It's still hot. It's come down. Yeah. It was 31 earlier, like you say, when... I guess that is kind of to their advantage a little bit. You can go longer in the colder condition. But hey, yeah, like you say, it will take a little bit longer to come up to pressure, a little bit longer to come up to temperature, but we'll see. Malinowski he should be there now, really, to be honest. But he is running behind a car, so it might be halfway through the next lap, but such the lap length round here, he'll probably be up to operation temperature as he comes across the line, to be honest. So Hugo's just got to hold on. Oh, Malinowski going deep there. Going really deep.
Maybe overestimating the grip his tyres had in the braking point. As Mills opened up 4/10 in that sector because of that. So Malinowski's got to be careful. If he's silly about this, he won't have a chance to attack. And in fact, Trevor Wenham saying the fastest lap closed up by about 2 seconds in the last 2 sectors. So yeah, Malinowski needs to pick up the pace in quick.
Yeah. Jardier, I think his time was being eaten a little bit by George Boothby behind. The gap was 3 seconds. It's now under 2. There's some memes about Ferrari strategy going off in the chat. I laughed a little bit inside there. First time we've seen a good strategy come from a Ferrari in a long time. I don't remember the last time we actually had a good strategy from a Ferrari. Like, jokes aside.
Wasn't it when Vettel decided it?
Yeah!
In Spain or something.
Decided the strategy himself, right?
Yeah. They're like, we're looking at the strategy. Oh, shouldn't we come in this lap? Oh, it is a good idea. We'll come in this lap, box.
We are checking. That was always made me laugh. Stand by, we are checking. What are you checking, man? We're watching Jean-Marcel going for a move here on Matthias. He's really, really hustling around for 13th place at this stage. We will keep an eye on that gap ahead with Malinowski and Hugo Merlers, but we do have a battle going on a little bit further down that warrants our attention, and he is actually on a little bit of older machinery here. He's on an old Porsche. That's why you see Jean-Marcel normally struggling in the middle pack, but still doing very well. So hats off to Jean-Marcel for putting the pressure on with, some would say, not the best Porsche of the bunch. 3/10 now, Malinowski. It's getting close, Saf. What's he going to do? Hugo, hold on, Hugo. Push him back into Trevor Wenham. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be a Kemmel jobby, isn't it? Hopefully he can hold on. I don't know. It feels like it's a matter of time, really.
Malinowski doesn't go deep this time.
He doesn't. He's got those tyres underneath him.
Wonder if this will be fastest lap from the Porsche now.
Let's have a little looky.
No.
It's not, no, but it's very close. 4/10 off.
4/10 off Wenham that lap. So it was another fastest lap from Wenham, but he didn't gain as much as last lap, nowhere near as much.
Oh, this is
Here
close.
we go, this could be it. Oh, is he going to go? Surely not as early, so Rouge.
Oh, you absolute madman. Tortellini! Oh! He had to lift then, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. That could have ended very badly.
I mean, if you no longer go for a gap, I don't think you could fit GT cars through there. I know, obviously, flashbacks of Mark Webber and Fernando Alonso going side by side through there, but yeah, not sure that they can do that. I'm showing my age there a little bit, really.
Look how much this opened the gap, nearly a second between them again. And that's brought in Trevor Wenham 7/10 in that sector because of all that. So again, they do need to be careful. They need to not fight too much.
Well, Merlers wants this. He wants Wenham to take part of this attack. He wants to put Malinowski under some pressure from behind so he doesn't get a run at him down the Kemmel. He needs someone else to be in there to give him a bit of a hard time. If anything, this is good for Hugo at this stage, I think. Sorry, it's good. Yeah, good for Hugo. Hugo wants to back him up. This is his only chance. He's not going to beat him on out pace. That tyre advantage is going to be too strong. He needs to back him up into Trevor.
Also, you know how the gap between Jardy and George is 7 points?
Yes.
Guess what the points difference between 4th and 5th in the race is?
7 points?
Yep.
Okay.
So if it finishes as is, they'll be drawn on points going into the final 2 races.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well there you go. AOR serving you up a little bit of tension. Look at the gap between Boothby and Jardier though. It's coming down. It was 2.5. It's now 1.5. Malinowski going for a move here? Question mark?
No, surely not. Because then that'll give Hugo a run down at Kemmel Straight.
Puts the car on the outside.
Oh, Hugo's gone deep.
Oh, Hugo.
There we go.
Push him wide, Hugo. Push him wide, Hugo. Nicely done. Oh, he's going to get him into turn 1.
But Malinowski's got a better exit somehow. So what does Hugo do? Does he just brake later?
No.
That's what it's true. Yeah, yeehaw.
Oh, here comes Trevor.
Hugo trying to go for the better exit, but just this is the point where he's just going to start not having as much traction. And look how close behind Trevor Wenham is now.
Here comes Hugo. Here comes Hugo. Here comes Hugo. He's not done yet, sir.
It's a repeat of when Malinowski came out of the pits. And
He's got him.
He's passed, but will Malinowski come back? And the chicane, no, stays back. And that's just going to bring Trevor even closer.
I mean, that's just Porsche things right there. Hugo Merler's driving out of his skin. He can see the race win here, Saf. He wants to do it. He's got to keep him back. Oh, but Malinowski round the outside. Sorry, Saf.
No worries. It's just the 2 pretty much net championship leaders at the moment are now only 6/10 apart. And their battle could be one of the most important in this championship.
You're right.
Speaking of, hello Malinowski.
Outside of Pouon, Trevor Wenham with brown underpants. Using all of the road there.
Merles is not wanting to give Malinowski any room at the exit of Pouon. And You know, when I was just watching this with popcorn going, fly a little closer, please. I want to have a go there.
Oh dear, Boothby, yeah, still 6/10. It's got to be close, actually, that fight behind. I don't want to lose it because we've got an absolute stunner of a fight going on up ahead. It is very close.
Speaking of 6/10, that's the gap between Wenham and Malinowski now.
It is, you're right. Trevor Wenham's eyeing him up here. Let's go on board with him. As you can see, the battle going up ahead. Malinowski looking for the slipstream on Hugo. He's going to go for a move outside, inside. What's he doing? Question marks. Oh,
It's going to have to be outside.
it is.
Mel's brakes earlier. Malinowski will try and force it down the inside. Do what to Merles, what Merles did to him last lap. And now Wenham is fully part of the fight, right behind these two. Technically closer to Merles than Merles was to Malinowski.
Oh my goodness. It's very close.
That was nearly a repeat of what gave McCormack his penalty. So, yeah, if Wenham wants to try and get past Malinowski, he needs to get this done now. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, look, that gap is already increasing a bit. So, but Merles has looked strong on this straight. He's got a good run.
Malinowski
He's got
weaving.
a very good run. But surely won't go for it. Surely they're just coming up to the braking zone now. Yeah, he's can't go for it, but look at Trevor. Yeah. No, don't go for it.
That was crucial for Malinowski to hold on to that now. He'll gap these guys now through the twisties. That Porsche is going to be so good at this stage with those tyres as well.
Oh, Boothby's got past Jardier.
Has he actually? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Yeah, they did. They did that on the Kemmel then. Boothby up to 4th place.
I'm going to rewatch that on the replay.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to because we've got a real good battle going on for the top 3.
Okay, yeah. Jardier even used his indicator to say, yeah, I'm going to say to the left, just go through.
Okay. Plain and simple overtake then. Boothby then up to 4th place. Trevor Wenham then needs to get past Hugo Merles, put him down a position.
Oh,
lovely
big dive.
Good stuff.
Well, how about that?
Yeah.
So now Trevor can go attacking after Malinowski. Remember, he was setting fastest laps and catching up to these guys. So we're going to have to wait and see whether that was Malinowski being held back by Hugo or whether Trevor just genuinely might actually have the pace on the Porsche here today.
Yep, I think it's going to be close, you know. I'm not sure if he's going to have it on out-and-out race pace, but I know obviously they qualified well. We'll have to see. I think he's got the legs on it, that's the thing. That Porsche is not quick in a straight line. You can see him eating up now. He's not even in the slipstream, it's just out-and-out pace. It's a couple of Ks off the top. That Porsche is clipping down the straights. And the two McLarens and Ferraris are taking advantage of that. I think we might see Trevor Wenham go for a move at the end of the Kemmel here.
Maybe if
5
he
to
can get
go.
a good enough run, if he can get a good enough run out of turn 1, this is going to be crucial. How much? He hasn't had really an optimal way through that corner, and yeah, just look how much Malinowski's able to pull on the exit.
He's going to be pulling him back now.
Trevor's already starting to pull him in again.
I think Merles is done. I don't think we're going to see any more attack from him, but we might see Trevor Wenham reel in Mr. Tortellini. Oh, got to be careful.
Oh, yeah, he's had a couple of errors at that corner. No, that's going to kill any chance of an attack on the straight now.
He did lift there as well.
Yeah, so he's going to try to wait for Blanchimont on this lap or Kemmel straight next lap to actually have a go. Gap extends to 9/10. And Boothby's also opening the gap to Jardier, so it doesn't look like those two are going to swap back round. In fact, actually, McCormack might start going for move on Jardier, but that will be fairly inconsequential with the penalty.
Yep. Right, we've got 450 on at the moment. What are they doing lap times? They're doing 18s, 2:18. So what's that? That's 1, 2... We're only getting 2 more laps in, I think, Saf. This and 2 more.
I'm going to have to wait and see.
Might even... No, it'd definitely be 2 more. This and 1, yeah. We'll see.
I think this and 2 more, yeah.
What's the gap between them now? 9/10. It's stayed where it is. Crucially, it stayed where it is. Malinowski hasn't pulled
they're just
away.
about to go through the sector 2/10.
Oh, he's actually improved. Trevor Wenham is doing very well here.
And just look how much he's going to munch at that gap.
We know that the McLaren is quick, just generally, and we know the Porsche doesn't like the straights. He's been able to pull away a little bit in the twisty bits, but he's not shot off like we thought Malinowski would when given 3 air. So I think Trevor Wenham's on for a little one here if he can keep it together. What a brilliant turn of pace this season Trevor's had. We've been singing his praises all time long, but he's struggled to get onto that podium, and now he's going for the top step. He's definitely got second sorted. Not going to go any further down than that. But whether he can claim that elusive win, Malinowski's got enough of them. Let's see what he can do. 4 tenths is the gap. He's got 3 tenths in that just last sector alone, Saf. He's definitely going to go for a move at the end of the Kemmel. He's got 2 more laps to give it a go.
Let's wait and see. Yeah, we've just finished the penultimate lap. Now on to the penultimate lap before the final lap.
Smooth.
Thank you. They go through Radion. Hopefully he doesn't mess it up this time. No, in fact, if anything, I think Malinowski had a poor Radion this time. So this is going to give Wenham the chance he needs. On the Kemmel, is Malinowski going to let him through? No, of course, when he goes defensive, Wenham's going to have to go to the outside line. Malinowski already starting to come back more to the outside himself. So you're going to try and stick it on the inside. He can't. Words. No space given by the McLaren. No,
Good start.
That is Wenham through for now. But what's the slipstream going to be like for Malinowski? It's actually, could he go for it here? How the hell you pronounce it?
He held on to it.
No, I don't think so quite yet. To go down into no name. Yeah, no. So I think just hold on here and then just hope that the slipstream will be enough down the Kemmel straight when they go into the final lap.
It's a fantastic race, this. Really is. We've got change of the lead 3 times over. Really, really good race. Qualifying was insane. We didn't know who was going to be on the top spot. We had some names up there that we haven't seen all season inside the top 10. Really, really mixed conditions, and it's thrown up an absolute blinder. We've seen changes in the last 5 laps alone. So yeah, unfortunately Hugo Merler's dropping down to 3rd place. George Boothby's not going to be able to get up to challenge, unfortunately, but still good points for him. Got to remember, he's currently leading the championship, but I think it's good for him at the moment that Wenham and Malinowski are the ones fighting for it. Slightly lesser points for those guys. Got Jardier, Dara McCormack, BMW Neal's pretty much out of this race for contention for podiums and good points. So yeah, good recovery drive from George Boothby, and what he needs to keep the championship alive.
Yep, he's now going to extend that from 7 to 14 points going the last 2 races. Meaning, really, if he just finishes, in the top 3, top 4 in both of those couple races, then he should be on to win the championship. But Shani is looking very good for a top 2 finish. So he's just going to be hoping to goodness we can't catch up to Merlis in time and overtake him. It doesn't look like he will.
Here we go, Saf.
Yeah.
Final lap, this one. Malinowski is very close to the back of Trevor Wenham. If he can stay in that slipstream for as long as possible, flick it out at the end of the Kemmel into Lacombe, he might have a move. It almost loses it through Eau Rouge, but manages to hold on. That McLaren's got legs, though, down the Kemmel. I don't think Malinowski, even with the slipstream, is going to be able to do it. He's going to be screaming in pasta. I don't think he's going to have enough. Trevor Wenham's held on. Will the attack come later on, though? End of Lacombe, possibly, into turn 10. Trevor's just got to hold his nerve. And he got 10 more turns. Oh, Trevor Wenham's losing his nerve, going quite deep into turn 10. Here comes No Name, and here comes Malinowski. He might make a move through Pouon. Trevor Wenham cracking under pressure here, Saf.
Maybe not necessarily, maybe just making a couple mistakes he'd usually make. And this would easily be his best result of the season. He's only had 1 podium so far, and that was a 3rd place. All the other finishes have been 16th or lower.
Is this Trevor?
So, yeah, true.
I said, no, is that Trevor, sorry?
Oh, yes, yeah,
okay,
Trevor.
I was going to say, I don't think we've seen him on a podium place, really.
Yeah, we've seen him once before in the first of the British rounds.
Okay, fair enough. Trevor Wenham doing a brilliant job so far. Really, really good. I think he's going to hold off here. Malinowski is going to run him down to the line, though. He might even have a little run through into the bus stop. He's right there, look, Saf. He's not letting Trevor run away. Trevor's going to have to go defensive.
Please don't let that be a crash. Please don't crash. I think Malinowski's going to stay back. He's too far back to go for a dive. Surely he wants to, but yeah, no, just too far back.
Trevor went
unless something
defensive.
happens on this exit,
Trevor Wenham
then
for
we
his
will
first
have-
win with AOR. Good stuff for Trevor. Malinowski comes across the line in second. Hugo Merlers gets third place and claims his first ever podium with AOR. George Boothby fourth, really good from him. Dara McCormack coming across the line in fifth. Jardier in sixth. Oh, Dara got past Jardier in the
yeah, but
end
with
there.
the 10-second.
I know, but he did it on track. Still, but he's still got the 10-second. You're right.
Yeah.
He will drop down. Arthur Camera, in 8th place. Max gets 7th. Petrochenko 9th. Valentin Barrier in 10th. We have actually got a little bit of race going on. Samir and Jan Malsar Dietrich. Look at that. Look, going toe-to-toe through the final corner. I think Samir Foch almost wanted to switch back towards the line. I think Marcel's going to hold on. He does. Good stuff. Samir,
Both
15th
of them will
place.
jump Briat because Briat got a 15-second penalty for causing a collision with car 85. That's Dietrich on lap 21, turn 1.
Big sad. Big sad for all of those involved. BMW Niels, look, coming through the line. 18th place. Not what he wanted today. I don't think he's actually come across yet. He's still going round, bless him. Where is he? Oh,
He's
he's going
just coming through into the last sector.
16th. Turn 16, sorry. Just coming up to Blanchimont. Oh, what a terrible race for BMW Niels. I think that also could be curtains for the championship for him. He's currently in second place of the championship, and he's only going to get about 25 odd points, I think, for that. Where is he? 18th place. Yeah, it's not going to be a lot. 24 points, I think. It's all he's going to claim today. That's not good. Whereabouts is he in the... Yeah, he is second place in the standings overall. Well, there you go. Jardier is going to jump up to second. BMW Niels is going to drop down 2 or 3 places after that. What a fantastic race for everyone involved. Let's see if we can have a chat with the guys who did the business. There we go. What a race. There we go. Right, so I lost my mouse. I couldn't find it at all. It's back now. Okay. Let's see if we can have a little chat with Trevor, Malinowski, and Hugo, if they're about. If we can. Because what a race that those guys had to go through. Yeah. I have lost my second screen completely. We're not having a good day today, Saff.
It's the badges.
I know, right? So just looking at the standings so far, I think I've lost it. I think we're gonna have some real mega changes after BMW Niels' bad race there. I think George Boothby is going to hold on to where he is. Jardier is going to go up a little bit. We'll have to find out what the gap is. Like you say, he's going to extend that lead now. Jardier is going to jump up to second place. Dara McCormack might just about get third. We'll have to see when it comes around to next week. Okay, well, we've got Hugo and Tortellini in for a chat, but we don't have Trevor Wenham. It'd be really good to see if we can have a little conversation with him, because it was an absolutely stunning race from both of those guys, and to see Trevor come across the line and get the win, brilliant stuff. Hey, here we go. We've got Tortellini and Hugo. How you doing, guys?
Oh, I'm tired.
Understandable.
That was exhausting.
Understandable.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy race to watch. It started off absolutely crazy as well, because unfortunately I had a power cut, so I didn't see any of the warm up or anything like that. But we're all good. We got in for the start. That's the main thing. So yeah, it wasn't absolute disaster. But changeable conditions first of all. They were quite changeable, right?
Yeah, I mean, they just changed, 5 times in 1 hour? Nothing crazy.
No, I mean, it was very quick how it changed. Like, I sense some sarcasm. Yeah, very quick how it changed. It just seemed to be, not too sure what was happening at one point. But did you think, obviously, with those changeable conditions, you could hold on? Because you got yourself a lead early.
Yes. Well, the key was to be on the right tire at the right time. And I think being on slicks the whole race was the right call. But because the weather was so changeable, the safe option was to, and we only know the weather for the next 15 minutes, the safe option was to stay out as long as possible and to the point where you're like kind of sure, okay, that's going to be dry to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was actually what cost me the victory, that I waited a bit too long. Because Hugo, on the other hand,
Yes.
he was on wets,
Mm-hmm.
so that kind of forced him to go early on the dry tires because his wets were just gone. But then he had new, of course, for him, then it's a gamble because if we have like a rain in the last 15 minutes, then he has to do 2 stops and 2 pit stops at Spa. I mean, we know how that's going to end.
Yeah.
So if I'm leading a few track position, well, I'm not going to necessarily gamble that much of pitting super early because, and I have quite a hefty margin, at least that I see on the relative. I totally forgot about cars like Hugo or even McCormack, who later had a penalty, that were on wets and went on those dries earlier. We thought they're gonna lose a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But the undercut was super powerful on those dries. They took new dry tires without graining, and they started putting it amazing lap times. And we were just still on those old slicks that went through all those weather changes, and they were grained, worn out. They went through hell today. So the lap times were really slow. So yeah, I mean, I think if only it was like about pitting, I don't know, 2 laps earlier for me, maybe I would have been ahead of Hugo on new tires. Then again, when the dry comes, Porsche at Spa is hopeless against anything else. So I'm happy to even hang in there for those couple of battles at the ending stages. I'm a bit disappointed with the strategy, but then again, there were so many different calls to make that there was definitely some luck involved, some good strategic calls. There was everything happening in this race. So I even though it was pole position and early gap at the beginning, I can't be sad for taking P2 at Spa in the Porsche because that car in the dry at least shouldn't be here, and majority of the race was dry.
Yeah. Well,
also,
I mean,
we had to fuel save because Porsche just doesn't have fuel tank enough for 1 hour.
There. Well, Jardia was complaining about that before the start of the race, that the fuel was going to be an issue. I mean, you got yourself some really good points today. That's the main thing. You know, you come away with a good old challenge.
Especially after few last rounds, because I absolutely bottled it. I could have won 3 rounds this season, if not 4. I just absolutely bottled every single one.
You may keep your chances for a top 3 alive. I think the championship might be gone, to be honest, with George's turn of pace at the end. But
yeah, George definitely found another gear in that car.
Yeah.
McLarens and Ferraris at the end, they were zooming. They were super fast as always at Spa. So
I mean, Hugo, let's have a little chat with him first, because he did something completely different to you, Tortellini. He decided to come in, like you say, a little bit earlier when the rain was still hammering it down in that very quick, weird thunderstorm that we had today. And then you came out and you had to put in some really good laps. We used you as a yardstick, obviously, because you were the first person to come in. But we didn't think you were going to be able to make a run on Malinowski at the very end of the Kemmel like you did. And then hold it for so long.
Yes, exactly. First of all, it's my first podium in this league. So
congratulations.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Look at the level. This is incredible. To be honest, the Ferrari is the best car here. But not Matsiej on wet is an absolute monster. Obviously on dry also, but the Porsche is better on wet than on dry. And I was surprised there is so much guys in the dry for starting the race. Mm-hmm. I prefer to choose wet tires with wet setup, so not the best to the end. But for starting the race, that was pretty a good choice. I could overtake Jardier, and I was behind Matsiej, but the track started to be dry. And at lap 4, I made a huge mistake because I wanted to pit because I started to be slower on with red wet tire, and I braked too late at the bus stop chicane. So I had to cut the chicane, and I want this time I want to pit, but I can't
no.
because Trevor Wenham was here, and I can't touch him for taking the pit. So I saw on this lap, on lap 5 with wet tire, I lost more than 10 seconds, and I made the massive mistake. But after, it was pretty good, and I didn't understand. Mathieu explained to me before, but why they didn't pit earlier, because it was sunny, so no really chance to. We don't know, but very low chance to wait again. So it could be a good strategy, but made the mistake that.
So you think the mistake cost you all the way back there in lap 4
Yes.
or 5?
After Mathieu and Trevor could say that they pit too late after, and also they lose a lot of time, obviously. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm still happy. The end of the race was pretty hard with a wet setup, too much wind on the Ferrari, whole tires. But it's still a podium.
Yeah.
It's
From
not.
my perspective, it didn't look like that Ferrari had too much wing.
You were fast down the camel, really fast.
For Ferrari, obviously, I was running 8 wing in dry setup. I made.
What?
3
That was 8 wing? What?
Yes, on the wet.
Oh my god.
3 wing on the dry, or 1 wing on quali. But yes, it was a bit too much. I know, but it's for wet only.
I mean, it was a fantastic drive. That's the main thing, and a lot of people. Your defense as well was really good. It was solid all the way through. Actually, when you were defending with Malinowski behind, it was great
the racing
to see.
at the end there was exceptional from all the drivers. The respect, because it was tricky conditions. We were on different tires, like in case of like. In terms of like how warm they are, the track conditions aren't super perfect. I had butt pressures. I don't know how his tires were. He's in a Ferrari. I'm in a Porsche. 2 totally different cars, totally driven differently. But and both pushing to the limit. Yet space was given, but it was all at the limit. So it was super respectable and super fun. It was so great to be a part of this race. To be honest, it was so much fun. One of the best
of the
ever.
season. One of the best we've seen so far. Yeah.
Actually, Mache, I'm a bit sorry because maybe you lost the race because of me. Because after Trevor Wenham was behind me, I let him pass. I know that I have absolutely no chance.
No. You have you have always chance. You have track position. You have always the chance. So.
That was my only chance that you fight and maybe
try. You're in the race. You have track position. You earned it. There's no need to let it go. It's for the win. You have to fight.
Yeah, and you did a great job. You did a great job of fighting. I think Trevor just had too much pace, to be honest, towards the end there at least.
He was super
and I think
fast.
Malinowski, you maybe just went a little bit too late on that pit stop that ruined your gap, unfortunately. But hey, it was great to watch. It was great for everyone involved, I think, to take part in that one. But yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. I appreciate you jumping in and giving us a real insight to how it went, and congratulations, Hugo, for your first ever podium with AOR. So yeah, brilliant stuff. We'll see you soon.
Thank you very much,
no
guys.
We'll see you next week. 2 races to go.
Yeah.
2 races to go. Great job. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
GG. Good night.
Well, there we go. Malinowski and Hugo Merles having a little chat with us there. First time we've had Hugo in the comms box, so yeah, great to meet him, and great for him to be right up where he was. Anything to end on, Saf, before we run away?
Nah.
Nah. No, we're all good. Hey, guys, you can join us tomorrow, and we'll do the Tier 2 stuff all over again. It will be Timosaurus and JSR. You can join those guys at 7:30 if you want to see how that's going. Not too sure how that championship is faring out. I'm sure it's probably pretty close. Let's have a little look, see how that's going for the Tier 2 guys. Let's see. So Tier 2. Standings at the moment. Oh, we've got a clear runner. Tommy is running away, 370 points. And we've got Dark Shade, Grankus Caracas in second place with 264. Then Connor Wright with 305 points. So wide open, top two. Looks like they're fighting. Tommy Razor and Grankus Caracas fighting for the championships. You want to follow those and come on board and see how they get on tomorrow. 7:30 and the same time, same place as we had today. And again, join us next week at 7:30 for, I think, where are we next? Is it Zolder? Let's have a look. Is it Zolder next? Yeah, before we go to the final race of the season. There we go, guys. We'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks to everyone in chat who stayed with us throughout that. It was a great race. I think you guys were all gifted an absolute blinder. Whew, I don't know where we go from there. What can Zolder pass up? But we had an absolute blinder there around Spa. I'm not too sure. It's a bit of a follow kind of track, Zolder, isn't it? It's not really one that throws up absolute surprises. We'll have to see. We'll just have to see. Saffzo, I'll see you next week, buddy.
See you, Bill.